This is the story of Aaron Walker, a man from Austin, Texas, driven, ambitious, and hungry to prove himself. For years, Aaron believed success was everything. He wanted the world to see him, to admire him, to say he made it. He built a tech consulting company from the ground up, working late nights, skipping family gatherings, and telling himself, "I'll rest when I've earned it." And for a while, it worked. His company grew fast. The money came in. The respect followed. He was invited to conferences, featured in magazines, the man everyone wanted to be. But what no one saw was that Aaron wasn't living, he was performing. Every deal, every speech, every smile was a mask covering a deeper truth. He was terrified of not being enough. Then came the storm. A bad contract, a lawsuit, a trusted partner who walked away. In just a few months, the company Aaron built with everything he had crumbled. He lost clients, friends, and eventually his confidence. The phone stopped ringing. The investors stopped calling. And the same people who once said, "You're unstoppable," now avoided his name altogether. Aaron tried to keep up appearances. He told people he was fine, that he just needed a break. But at night, he'd sit in his car outside the closed office, staring at the dark windows, replaying the same thought over and over. How did I lose everything? He'd drive past the building again and again, hoping somehow things might go back to the way they were. But deep down, he knew the truth. The past doesn't reopen its doors just because you're standing outside them. Weeks turned into months. Aaron stopped answering calls from friends. He lived inside his own head, trapped between memories and regrets. Every morning he'd tell himself, "Maybe tomorrow I'll start again." But tomorrow kept slipping further away. You see, failure doesn't just destroy what you built. It tries to convince you that you are what broke. That's the real danger when you stop separating your mistakes from your identity. One night, Aaron scrolled through his old files, proposals, invoices, contracts. Each one felt like a wound. He whispered, "If I could just find where I went wrong." But the truth is, reflection teaches, it doesn't resurrect. One chilly evening, Aaron stopped at a 24-hour diner off the highway. He ordered black coffee and sat in silence, staring at the steam. An older man in a flannel jacket slid into the seat beside him. "You look like you've been fighting ghosts," the man said with a grin. Aaron chuckled weakly, something like that. "Lost my business. Lost my way, I guess." The man stirred his coffee, then said quietly, "Son, I've learned something after 70 years on this earth. You can't walk forward if both your feet are planted in yesterday. The past's a lesson, not a home." Aaron didn't know how to respond. But those words echoed in his mind long after the man left. The next morning, Aaron looked at himself in the mirror. He looked older, not from time, but from carrying too much of yesterday. He whispered, "What if I just let it go?" For the first time in months, he picked up a notebook, not to plan a comeback, but to write how he felt. He wrote about failure, about shame, about exhaustion, and as the ink hit the page, something unexpected happened. The weight on his chest began to lift, piece by piece. That's the thing about honesty. It doesn't fix everything, but it frees you to start. A few days later, Aaron visited a local community center in Austin that offered free business mentoring. He didn't go there to teach. He went there to learn how to start again. But when the director found out who he was, she asked if he could share his experience with younger entrepreneurs. At first, he refused. No one needs advice from the guy who failed. But she smiled and said, "That's exactly why they need you." So he did. He told them what not to do. He told them how success without balance collapses. He told them how pride keeps you stuck when humility sets you free. And for the first time in a long time, he saw purpose, not in impressing others, but in helping them. Over the next year, Aaron began doing small consulting work, not for corporations, but for local startups, family businesses, and single moms trying to launch online shops. He helped them avoid the mistakes he once made. It wasn't glamorous. No headlines, no spotlight. But he felt peace. He stopped chasing validation and started chasing growth. He no longer wanted to get back what he lost. He wanted to become someone wiser because of it. Slowly, word spread. Not about the company he built before, but about the man he had become after it all fell apart. One afternoon, while mentoring a group of high school students, a young boy asked, "Mr. Walker, aren't you afraid of failing again?" Aaron smiled. "Of course I am. But fear doesn't stop failure. It stops progress. Failure's a teacher, not a verdict. You fail, you learn, you rise. That's the rhythm of life." That night, Aaron went home, sat on his porch, and looked out at the Texas sunset. For the first time in years, the silence didn't feel heavy. It felt peaceful. He realized something powerful. Maybe you're listening right now, feeling like Aaron once did, stuck in the ruins of something that used to be beautiful. A dream that failed, a relationship that ended, a version of yourself you don't recognize anymore. But hear me, you are not what you lost. You are what you choose to rebuild. Let go of yesterday's failure. Stop living for the applause that fades. Start walking. Even if your steps are small, even if your heart still hurts. Because healing doesn't demand perfection, it just demands movement. Aaron Walker didn't rise because luck changed. He rose because he did. Because he stopped standing where he broke and started walking toward who he could become. And that's your reminder today. Your story isn't over. The chapter that ended was just a setup for the one that's about to begin. So take a breath, take a step, and keep moving forward. If this story moved you today, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.